Hello, welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have some controversy about the balcony at this year's Trooping the Color and the shocking revelations that a Spotify executive has expressed in public on his own podcast, calling Harry and Meghan effing grifters. This took the internet by storm yesterday because nobody expected it. But first, we need to address the fact that since money is running low, we have proof of the brand new initiatives that Meghan is doing to make the moolah. And if you have $100,000 to spare, pun intended, you can hire the Duchess of Sausages as a speaker for your event. And look, she's got the gall to include member of the British royal family on her description. What happened to the humanitarian ambassador of women empowerment, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and they make sure to specify that she's traveling from Los Angeles. But it has to be in private jet because, reasons. And I'm going to show you again the two pictures that Meghan's mole shared on Twitter. On top, we've got Trooping the Color balcony last year. And on the bottom, this year. Putting aside the differences in camera angle and framing, which one do you prefer? And before we address that difference, let's talk about the bombshell. Bill Simmons, a Spotify executive who is head of podcast innovation and monetization at the streaming giant, calling Harry and Meghan effing grifters, point blank, in public, on his own podcast. In fact, since his podcast has nothing to do with the British royal family, or any royal house for that matter, he said some things back in January out of the blue and nobody had taken notice until now. So watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot this guy to the sun. I'm so tired of this guy. What does he bring to the table? He just whines about shit. Like, keeps giving interviews. Who gives a shit? Who cares about your life? You weren't even like the favorite son. The other guy was the king. You're like the fucking Fredo.
Our wives care. Our wives care about him.
They don't even care. Does your wife care about Prince Harry? Nobody cares about this. He had a fucking eight episode Netflix show. What did we find out?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, that's enough.
I can't stand him. So tired. I'm so embarrassed that I have to share Spotify with him. The guy sucks.
Did you? You don't have to share with anybody. Didn't they tell you? You don't have to share.
I don't. I get to keep it. Yeah, you're right.
You're good. You get to keep the whole thing. By the way, the news is just coming in
that he's on our platform.
He's replacing Kornacki, Prince Harry. That's not good. We don't want that.
It'll be the first productive thing he did. What does he do? It's one of those things where it's like, what's your talent? Why are we listening to you? What's your So you were born in a royal family and then you left. What are you good at?
Yeah, he didn't do anything there, and now he's going to come here and do nothing. But
yeah, you live in Montecito and you just you sell documentaries and podcasts and nobody cares what you have to say about anything unless you talk about the royal family. You just complain about him. He's got a book. What do you write a book about?
Love this.
Yeah, honestly, he's the worst. All right, let's take a break.
And this was on his latest podcast.
I'm going to pose this question to you. You do a lot of business deals, a lot of negotiations.
I do.
Well, let's just.
I wish I had been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation. The fucking grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them. I got to get drunk one night and tell the story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try to help him with a podcast idea.
Do it.
It's one of my best stories.
Dude, there hasn't been a Drunk Simmons podcast. Let's both get drunk and then it'll just be drunk.
Save that idea.
It'll be really easy.
The grifters.
Here's my business.
And you can imagine that the fallout has already begun. This is the cover of the New York Post, pulling no punches, labeling the Harkles their royal laziness. Harry Meg's branded grifters as 20 million Spotify deal fails. And no, I'm not going to show the pictures that the speed dial paparazzis took of the Duchess of Sausages today. I think it's a much better idea to show the Princess of Wales, who was absolutely stunning. I agree with Aquia with a bit of sass on Twitter. Not the Princess of Wales, Princess Kate giving a nod to the late Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, with her choice of color, and her late mother-in-law Diana, Princess of Wales, with her earrings. A current icon of the House of Windsor, paying tribute to two deceased icons of the House of Windsor. And meanwhile, there were magnificent pictures of today's Trooping the Color, especially of King Charles. And if you think that your mind is playing tricks on you, well, maybe. is at war. Oh, wow, King Charles looks so much like his dad, the late Prince Philip, in this pic. For a second, I honestly thought it was Philip. And yeah, I thought exactly the same. Impressive, isn't it? But then I took notice of the conversation that was happening around the balcony appearance this year, and that's why I asked your opinion about this at the start of this video. In 2022, lots of royals, meanwhile in 2023, a sparse balcony. And we got reactions. According to Taz, at Trooping, we should have had the whole family together at the end. To which Meghan Small has her own opinion. I agree. I am so over the whole narrative that King Charles had to differentiate between working and non-working to placate the two idiots of the family. Grow a pair, you are the king. And my intention with this is that you can give your own opinion as to what would have been the right approach. Before telling you what do I think, let's look at a couple more tweets about this matter. Lady Marie, I wish the balcony had been full. I miss seeing Lady Louise, the Earl of Wessex, and Princess Alexandra. I wish Bea and Edo would have been on the balcony as well, along with Zara and Peter. United family. Not though I don't blame King Charles so much as blame the family members that cannot behave. Madame Defarge, it's how it has to be, unfortunately. If they had everyone crammed in, then they'd be criticized for excluding the Harkles and would be forced to include them in subsequent years. Charles has to stick to his guns on this. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think. And I look for a picture that pretty much describes this year's balcony. I think it's a fact that no matter what you do, someone is going to criticize you, especially the more notorious, the more famous, the more public you are. This will be a reality. So no matter what, if the balcony was packed or if the balcony had only working royals, the royal family and the king were going to be criticized. So that's actually a relief because then you know what to expect. But then we had to think about what image do you project in either scenario. If you only have the working or senior royals, then the balcony is going to look a bit empty compared to other years, of course. And that emptiness is not a good look, like something is wrong. At the same time, if you pack the balcony with the family as in other years, it will be much more pleasing to the eye, but then you're sending a message that even those that do not actively work for the firm have a right to be up there. Let's say, for example, Sarah and Mike Tyndall. But remember, no matter what you do, you will be criticized. I don't want to think that this boils down to not including Meghan and Harry because I don't think King Charles considers them that important. I think the king just wanted to represent that smaller, tight circle around him, but they did not foresee that this move was going to show the balcony a bit empty. And as I mentioned, it looks off. Now, I respect King Charles' decision, but I would have acted differently. Take a look at this. These are the crowds at the mall waiting for the king's appearance at the balcony. It was massive. I think I'm not wrong when I say that had the balcony been packed with the family, not only the senior royals, but packed like other years, virtually none of these people in this crowd would have complained. On the contrary, they would have enjoyed it. There is something that is certain in life. You cannot please everybody. But you know who are the people that you can please and who are the people that will criticize you no matter what. In that regard, I think you should give your fans what they want, unapologetically, especially if you are the king. And I didn't want to end this episode without mentioning this picture. I love the way kids have an amazing imagination. I still have some of that imagination because I don't know if Louis was trying to become a giant mecha robot shooting rockets from his forearms or a lone vigilante cruising the UK on a Triumph chopper. Either way, he stole the show as per usual. My Royal Rogues, if I made you smile or even laugh today, then you can show some love just hitting the like and subscribe buttons. It's completely free and the best way to support my daily royal news and memes. The two most important words, much love and bliss.